All right. Hello, everybody. It's Big Limpin here. Welcome back to my channel. So before I get started, I just want to let you know that, or well, not let you know, I'm sure you'll see that I'm in a little bit different spot here, set up a little bit differently. I got a desk in my room now, so I can actually, sit down instead of just stand awkwardly and show you guys comics. And it also gives me a better position to, or better spot to put them down after I show them off to you. So with that being said, this is going to be a video about how Image Comics is slowly taking over my collection. I mean, I essentially have another bookshelf that is just strictly independent comics, and Image is a good 75-80% of it, and that's only going to get bigger given the recent order that I just got. So I've been talking about how I have an order from InStock Trades coming, and it's been a while since I made a video, but that was the gist of it, is that I had more from InStock Trades coming, and they finally showed up today. 9 out of 10 did. One's coming on Tuesday, but bulk came today. But before that, I figured I'd talk about some of the other pickups that I got over the course of the last couple weeks, and I'm going to start that off with the Marvel ones. So I got the Ultimates Volume 2 All Power to the People by Dennis Camp, and wow, I mean, like I've said before, Ultimate Spider-Man is incredible, and I've loved it, and it's been my favorite Ultimates book, but I think that changed after reading Ultimates Volume 2, specifically because of the Luke Cage issue. That was the coolest shit I've ever read. I mean, it played out like a Rage Against the Machine song, and so I feel like I really can't phrase it much better than that or talk about it or hype it up more than that. It was amazing. Wow. I'm like still just mind blown over it. I've read it over like multiple times, and it's still just insanely good. But now that the Marvel stuff's out of the way, let's get to the Image stuff. So to start off with, I'm going to talk about this series by Kieran Gillen and Casper Wynyard, I think. The Power Fantasy, Volumes 1 and 2. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about these over the last few months as like a must read. Like, oh, you gotta read the Power Fantasy. It's amazing. It's like X-Men if they lock the fuck in, and that could not be further from being incorrect. It is 100% accurate. That's confusing, but it's an amazing series to start off with. It really is X-Men if the editorial wasn't annoying about it. And I don't mean in, them still being an allegory for the civil rights movement, because that is a core part of the X-Men group, and it's something that I've always loved about them. However, it's more so an issue of they haven't seemed to do any kind of like real world shit in a while. And this is where the Power Fantasy comes in. And it's such an amazing fucking book, amazing series to start. I can't wait to get more issues of it, or at least to get the more trades of it. And hopefully they do a hardcover, because that's my new fucking thing now, is hardcovers. But anyways, now that is out of the way, I can talk about the next two. Two Jonathan Hickman books that I was not a fan of. In all honesty, Red Mask from Mars and The Red Wing. Disappointing. Definitely his weakest work, I would say. I know this is like pre East of West and Decorum. This is like his Nightly Newsdays, I believe, and I haven't read that yet, but I really wasn't a fan of it. Like Red Mask from Mars was kind of cool because it definitely seemed like almost his take on DC characters, which kind of sucks that DC sucks, in regards to how they run shit. But yeah, I kind of wish Jonathan Hickman had been on Absolute Superman 2, but that would have been overworking him given his Ultimate Spider-Man stuff, so what are you going to do? Anyways, not that good. I don't really recommend them. They were cheap, so I don't feel too bad. The next two that I got, Ultra Mega 1 and 2. This shit was insane, man. I mean, people talked about Ultra Mega like it was a generational book as far as just, balls to the wall craziness, and it definitely was. James Herron is a very talented writer and artist. He very much almost reminiscent of Daniel Warren Johnson, and as far as his talent for both writing and art goes, I wouldn't put him on the same level as Daniel Warren Johnson for writing, but I still enjoyed it very much. It was a really unique concept. I loved all the kaiju fights. They were pretty insane. And just the whole concept of, I wouldn't say, almost like generational trauma, dealing with these larger-than-life issues literally getting passed down from father to son was quite an interesting touch. I really liked it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I couldn't put it down. But anyways, let's get on to the stuff I got in today, because that's why you're here. And that's why I'm making this video. So to start off with, two of the trades, I got The Fade Out and Fatale by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. You know I've talked about this creative team like a lot. So this has been, a long time coming for me. And I was very excited when this finally came in today because I've been wanting to read these for a while. I've seen The Fade Out in like the singular graphic novels where it's like Act 1, Act 2, but never like could find them. I could never find Act 1. So being able to get the complete collection in a trade, I was hoping for hardcover, but it's really hard to find. And Fatale, kind of the same thing. Deluxe editions volume 1 and 2 are like almost impossible to find, but I was very happy to just be able to get my hands on this. I love Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. I think they're one of my favorite creative teams out there. I mean, obviously. Oh, speaking of, I forgot to mention this. I got the new Criminal book, The Knives. Figured I might as well bring it up while I'm talking about these guys. Incredible. This is the most lived-in comic book universe that I've seen. Like, you can talk about Marvel and DC all you want, but this is the good stuff. They constantly have callbacks to earlier characters, earlier stories, and it's just the world feels so lived in compared to just like, say, two superheroes bumping into each other in downtown fucking New York where 90 other superheroes are at. This is infinitely more interesting to me, and the writing and art is just, this is the dream team right here. You don't get much better than this. So I was really happy to get it, and there will be more to come from that creative team. Anyways, next up, another Image comic book. Wow, it's almost like there's a trend in this video or something. Sex Criminals, the Complete Collection, Complete Edition by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. I've been really interested in reading this for quite some time now. It's got such an interesting concept, and I'm a big Matt Fraction fan. I haven't checked out the new series that he's done of Batman, but Matt Fraction is a very talented writer. I mean, everyone loves his work on Hawkeye. It's pretty generational, and he's just a great writer. And the fact that Chip Zdarsky, did the art with him and helped him out with the writing as well. I mean, it's just, you can't ask for better. That's a dream team as well. So, very excited to read it. The concept just sounds hilarious and awesome all at the same time. So, I'm very excited to crack into it. Now, on to the hardcovers. This one's not Image, but it is something I've been looking forward to. It is Rare Flavors from Boom by Ram V and Felipe Andrade. This is the same creative team that did the mini deaths of Layla Starr, so, couldn't not pick it up. And it went out of stock in the trade paperback, but luckily they just released this deluxe hardcover edition. So talk about, like, perfect fucking timing. I mean, I love the artwork of Felipe Andrade and Felipe, Jesus, I keep pronouncing it wrong. But Ram V is probably one of the best writers out there right now, if not the best. Him and Dennis Camp are just on generational runs together, at the same time with the sort of crisis events, Ram V doing New Gods. I mean, there's just some incredible work coming from those two guys. And I've been really wanting to read this. I've been hearing lots of good things about it, that it's just as good as the mini deaths of Layla Starr, but it has like darker twist to it, and it's like, yeah, okay, I'm there. I mean, the creative team is what sold me on it originally, so it's kind of just an added bonus that they had it in the deluxe hardcover edition. But anyways, on to the next book. Back to Image. Murder Falcon, the deluxe hardcover edition. I have the Extremity deluxe hardcover edition coming Tuesday. That's the one that I'm waiting on still. But Murder Falcon from Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. Another insanely good creative team. I've been hearing great things about this too. I love Daniel Warren Johnson. I loved his work on Transformers. He also did a great story in Superman Red and Blue, by the way, which if you haven't read that, I highly recommend it. It's beautiful and it's touching. No one's doing it like him. Like I said, James Herron is very good at doing both the writing and the art, but Daniel Warren Johnson is the blueprint for that shit, all right? He is what you want out of a guy that's double fisting, or, whatever you want to call it. And Mike Spicer is just such a great compliment to him, and I'm insanely excited to read this. I've heard it's emotional and fucking awesome. It's what you want out of a comic book. And again, That's what I mean by Image is taking over my shit. Like, I got a shelf just for hardcovers now because, you know, I'm gonna need it. But yeah, you know, it's very excited to read. I'm very excited to read all of these, but, you know, who isn't? So next one is another Matt Fraction book. It is Odyssey, Cycle 1. They're not doing a sequel to this or a follow-up to it. From what I understand, it's just, I guess it sounds like they lost the plot, but I'm excited to read it. My sister was the one that actually suggested this to me because she's a big fan of the Odyssey, and with the movie coming out in 2 years, or actually I think next year, I figured why not? I love Matt Fraction, and Christian Ward is an insane artist, so I figured why not check this out and see what's up. It looks really cool. I just love hardcovers, man. That's so good, so smooth, and Image seems to do them the best out of any publisher out there. Like, I think this is the way to go if you want a good hardcover, is go through Image. But anyways, Odyssey Cycle 1, gender bent Odyssey story. I'm fucking there. It sounds great. Next up, another Jonathan Hickman book, Decorum. Now, this was one that I wanted to get into for a while. I'm a big Jonathan Hickman fan outside of Red Wing and Red Mass of Mars, whatever Red Mass for Mars, Jesus. But this is another great story from him. From what I've been hearing, so far nothing has really topped East of West for me from his work, but I'm excited to read this one and see if this is up there. Again, really pretty hardcover, looks really nice. Bindings seem really good on it too, and Mike Huddleston's art looks insane. Really interesting colors. And it's funny that, you know, I've been seeing a lot of like, oh, you know, Jonathan Hickman can't write women, yada, yada, yada. And I feel like that's only true for like his Marvel work, because in Image, it seems to be the complete opposite. East of West was full of strong and, you know, really full of depth women characters that were really badass. Like Sholianne, oh my God, I still think about her. She was awesome. She was badass. She was strong. So many great qualities about her. And, you know, they talk about how like, oh, there's the Bechdel test, right? And it was great because she was able to talk about so many things without mentioning a dude or without mentioning her husband or, you know, shit like that. And so I'm really hoping that this kind of lives up to that same promise, or that same premise, I guess, or not same premise, but same scope. Big Jonathan Hickman fan, so hopefully he doesn't let me down with this one. But once again, like the hardcover, looks great. All right, on to the next one. Or actually the next two, because they're both done by the same creative team, and I've been waiting for these bad boys. Criminal Deluxe Hardcover Editions Volume 2 and 3. So I know a while back I did I talked about how I got Criminal Deluxe Edition Volume 1. And so this is finally completing the set. I have so many Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips books now. It's crazy, because I have Kill or Be Killed, I got Cruel Summer, and I actually have Volume 1 of Criminal in the trade paperback format with Coward. So I have a lot of their work now. I'd say a lot, and and the Knives. Can't forget about that. But yeah, a lot of my Image collection so far is either Rick Remender or Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, because I got Black Science, I got Deadly Class, I got 7-2 Eternity, I got A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, so I got quite a few Rick Remender. But now I'll have 3 Ed Brubaker hardcovers. I got Fade Out, Fatale, Kill or Be Killed, Cruel Summer, and then Coward. So if does it actually have My Heroes? Okay, so I guess I don't need to get My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies and Bad Weekend, because it's included in this. So that's pretty cool. I'm very, very excited to get through all of these, especially these two. The Criminal series, like I said, with the Knives, it's unbelievable. It's such a unique shared universe that constantly feels so lived in, with great callbacks, amazing characters, with so much depth, and it's what you want out of a crime thriller book, you know? And I've been waiting a long time for these, and after all that's been going down over the last month, nothing bad aside from knee problems, but you know, after all the stuff I've been doing over the last month, this is a really nice, you know, kind of treat myself thing. And I was happy to be able to indulge a little bit and you know, get a bunch of my favorite pastime, which is reading comics outside of watching baseball. And yeah, I'm very excited to crack into all these. And I probably will make a little bit of a video or something after I read through all of them, talking about what I liked about them, what I didn't. I know I've been saving that mainly for League of Comic Geeks, but yeah, if you guys can try and maybe like find me on there, same username, just Big Limpin'. So yeah, give me a follow on there. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the video. Leave a comment. Let me know which Image series I should check out next. I would like to get Gideon Falls and Descender, because I've read a few of the paperbacks from that, and I really enjoyed those series. And probably the Department of Truth Complete Conspiracy Edition, but I might wait on that. One until the second hardcover comes out, because I'm realizing now that I actually enjoy the hardcovers or collected editions a lot more, because I fucking hate, I mean, literally most of my comic book collection is just trade paperbacks. I mean, all these shelves are, it's a lot of fucking trade paperbacks, and I like having the complete stories, so that way I don't have to, you know, keep buying more, keep filling up space. It's becoming about space management, you know. But yeah, that is it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you also decide to pick some of these books up. I know they're amazing. Image Comics is the best. It's literally taking over my collection, and for good reason. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend, and yeah, I will see you on the next video.